This is the University of Tampa. UT students travel from across the nation and around the globe to join a dynamic learning community. There are 150 academic programs, continuing studies for non-traditional students, and a highly ranked graduate school. NCAA Division II athletics program. The UT experience begins with an innovative first-year program and continues with opportunities to challenge yourself in the honors program, to study abroad, to conduct research with faculty, to do an internship, to volunteer in the community, or to participate in multiple leadership programs. Explore your dreams, discover your talents, get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
Welcome to the University of Tampa. My name is Tucker Whitman and I'm a junior marketing major here at UT. Today we're going to look at some of the highlights of our beautiful Riverside campus here in downtown Tampa. We'll start at Plan Hall. This historic building was opened in 1891 as the Tampa Bay Hotel and now serves as the main academic building here at UT, with 4 floors of classrooms as well as faculty and administrative offices. Next up, the Vaughn Center, the hub of campus life and activities. This multi-purpose building includes the campus bookstore, our primary cafeteria plus an additional food court, a theater, as well as offices and meeting rooms for student organizations. The Vaughn Center is also one of UT's residence halls, providing 5 floors of student rooms. Morsani Hall is another residence hall here at UT. In addition to housing approximately 450 students, this building offers another selection of eateries as well as a small grocery store. Now let's check out the Sykes College of Business. This academic building houses classrooms and faculty offices for UT's undergrad and graduate business students. This building also has a real-time stock trading room. Right next door is the Sykes Chapel for Faith and Values. This gorgeous interfaith chapel features a large main hall complete with a massive pipe organ, as well as meditation rooms and meeting rooms. Student healthcare is a major priority for us here at UT. The Dickey Health and Wellness Center is accessible to all students and provides high-quality services including basic medical care, counseling, and wellness programs. On the east side of campus, you'll find the McDonald-Kelsey Library. Here, students can learn from a large collection of books, periodicals, and digital databases. They can also take advantage of our numerous study rooms and computers. The Academic Success Center is another great resource for students. This is your one-stop shop for academic advising, coaching, and tutoring services. Whether you're a seasoned athlete or just want to shoot some hoops, the athletic facilities here at UT are hard to beat. The Bob Martinez Athletic Center includes a large gymnasium, a weight room, and training facilities. In addition, the campus features an aquatic center open year-round, 6 tennis courts, baseball and softball fields, a 1,500-seat stadium, as well as a lacrosse field and intramural complex. Need a break from studying? Head to Fall Theater and catch a play. This 1,000-seat historic theater serves as a home for all major performances made by UT's Department of Speech, Theater and Dance, as well as special guests. This is one of UT's newest facilities, the Innovation and Collaboration Building. Here you will find UT's very own Starbucks. In addition, classrooms, cybersecurity labs, study lounges, and the Loth Entrepreneurship Center designed for student entrepreneurs to launch their startups. Thanks for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video tour of UT, we'd love to give you one in person. For more information or to schedule a campus visit, go to ut.edu.
College sports.
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
A return to normal, and all we love about sports.
You've instilled resilience, focus, and selflessness in us. We've put those lessons to work.
We've found strength and unity in each other.
You continue to take us places we never imagined.
You bring out the best in us.
So when we look forward, we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We see a better world for all of us and for college sports.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can. And then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves. Our vision, our heart, our drive to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
please rise, gentlemen, remove your caps as we honor America and those who serve by playing our national anthem.
And good morning, everybody, and welcome to NCAA Division II Regional Championship Baseball from the campus of the University of Tampa UT Baseball Stadium. It is an elimination game this morning between the Tampa Spartans and the Valdosta State Blazers. Both these teams have one loss. The way the regionals operate is 4 teams come in. It is a double elimination tournament, so you lose once, you're still alive. You lose twice, you go home. We're down to 3 teams. Valdosta State and Tampa both have lost games. Valdosta State lost its first game of the tournament, 11-3 to Nova Southeastern on Thursday. Tampa with a 35-4 win over Spring Hill on Thursday to advance. Yesterday, though, Nova Southeastern beat Tampa 9-3, and they are the only unbeaten team left in this regional. Valdosta State then beat Spring Hill yesterday 9-5. That eliminated Spring Hill from the competition and pits Valdosta State against Tampa this morning. Now, it's a doubleheader for the winner of this game. Whoever loses, they're done. Their season is over. Whoever wins will play later today, weather permitting. There's some rain in the area. Weather permitting, will play Nova Southeastern. Now, when those two teams play, if Nova Southeastern wins, Nova Southeastern is the South Regional champ for this section. If the other team beats Nova Southeastern, they will play Sunday, because that would be just Nova Southeastern's first loss of the tournament. And so it would be 2 teams playing an elimination game for the championship on Sunday. I hope you're all squared away with that. What we've got now is Valdosta State against Tampa. Tampa, even though it's their home park and their home city, they are the visitors for this game. Valdosta State, you can see the Blazers on the mound, and they will be the home team as this game gets ready to start. Pitching for Valdosta State today will be number 16, and that is Brandon Radin. He is a junior from Douglasville, Georgia. Radin comes into the game with a 3.06 ERA, 6-1 record on the year. This is his 22nd appearance, though just his 3rd start of the year. Does have a complete game. He has 2 saves to his credit, 53 innings pitched, 53 hits, given up 28 hits, 28 runs, I should say. 18 of them earned. He's walked 13, struck out 37. And he will start by facing J.D. Urso for Tampa. Urso, coach's son of Joe Urso, the coaches for today's game. Joe Urso for the Tampa Spartans in his 22nd year has made 22 appearances in the NCAA tournament. And it will be Greg Willems is the head coach for the Valdosta State Blazers. Radin's first pitch, called strike. Umpires for today's game: Danny Glidewell is behind the plate, Ryan McCraney at first base, John Bennett second base, Paul Taylor is at third base. Urso hitting right around 400 for the season, and he has really Been a great bat. There he lofts one out into center field. And an easy catch by Crawford for the first out of the game. They're saying it's 82, mostly cloudy here in Tampa, expecting a high of about 90, but pretty solid cloud cover. They're saying rain chances increase to about 50% around 2 p.m. There's a big system off in the Gulf of Mexico. It's kind of whether it comes straight east or at the moment it's tracking kind of northeast, so may skirt the Tampa area. We'll see. Jordan Lala to the plate for Tampa now. Two balls, no strikes to Lala. The junior outfielder hitting .362 on the year. Valdosta State beating Spring Hill to advance to this game. Tampa lost to Nova Southeastern yesterday. Lala looks at that one, and it's now 3-1. Welcome, everybody, from Valdosta, Georgia, listening in today. I know you guys have a radio broadcast going on, too, but I've got the pictures. Strike call, 3-2. Of course, if you're like me, I'm a Wisconsin Badger fan. I will watch the Badgers on TV and sync up the local radio announcer to the game. Swing and a miss. Lala goes down on the 3-2 pitch. Spartans had an historic game on Thursday playing Spring Hill, beat them 35-4. Tampa scored 6 in the first, 16 in the second inning, and had a 22-0 lead after 2 innings. Did they use all their runs in one game? Well, it was a 9-3 loss yesterday. Though I must say the competition did step up. Defensively, we've got Harper behind the plate, Daskau at first, Gutierrez at second, Christopoulos at third, Romano at short, Ard, Crawford, Gandy, the outfield left, center, right. Drew Earhart at the plate, a .327 average on the year. Home run in yesterday's game. Check swing, strike. After him is the red-hot Dan Sullivan. Earhart fouls it off. They give chase, but it's up on the screen that surrounds this ballpark. Our cameras don't move, so you will miss balls going down the left and right field line. We will provide adequate play-by-play so you'll know what's going on. And if you notice, their outfield has the yellow line signaling home run, but there's a huge fence that surrounds the park. There's a fouled ball down the first base line. Huge fence because we're in an urban setting here. There are 2 major streets that go down first base and third base, and foul balls oftentimes will head that way. A pleasant surprise to any drivers. So about a 100-foot tall fence surrounds the ballpark. They try to keep as many balls into the park as they can. There's also a dorm room down the first base line, too, not too far away, and a few have bounced off there. 2-2. Fouled off again. Earhart hanging in there. Tampa wearing its third different uniform combination of the weekend. All white on Thursday, red tops yesterday, black tops today. Ball high, 3-2. Valdosta State going with the camo look today. Yesterday, all white jerseys, VSU on the front. Full count again, second batter. Earhart calls timeout. Radin's pitch. Off speed, right to the third baseman, Christopoulos, to end the inning, and hit it on the screws. Third baseman barely moved, made the catch. Inning is over. Tampa 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the first. Tampa nothing. Valdosta State coming to bat on TampaSpartans.tv.
College sports.
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
A return to normal, and all we love about sports.
You've instilled resilience, focus, and selflessness in us. We've put those lessons to work.
We've found strength and unity in each other.
You continue to take us places we never imagined.
You bring out the best in us.
So when we look forward, we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We see a better world for all of us.
And for college sports.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Adams, Ard, Harper, Crawford, Christopoulos, and Gutierrez for Valdosta State. Gandy coming in.
Actually, apologize. Got confused since Valdosta State had worn some darker jerseys yesterday. Long has started all his games he started this season. A key member of the rotation. Part of the three-headed beast that we'll see hopefully later today with Herb.
First pitch from Long, swing and a miss to Gandy, by Gandy. Gandy coming in with a .276 batting average. Spartans lost the coin flip, and they're the visitors again.
The good news, though, is that actually might give the Spartans a little advantage because every single time Valdosta State has played in Tampa as the road team, they've won 3-0 in total. They have the series on the Spartans 5-2.
These teams don't usually meet during the regular season, but often have met in postseason play. Valdosta State, Valdosta, just north of the Florida border. About a little more than an hour from Tallahassee. 1-1, that makes it 2-1. Spartans defensively, Ruai behind the plate, Dan Sullivan at first, Drew Earhart at second. Anthony Nunez at third. J.D. Urso is the shortstop. 3-1 now. Outfield is Jordan Lala in left. Jose Cadenas in center. E.J. Cumbo is in right. 3-1 now to Gandy.
You mentioned, of course, Nunez at third. We've seen him play all over the infield, with the exception of first base this weekend.
Way outside, I'm safe to call that, and a walk to Gandy.
That honestly might be the easiest call of the game for the umpire. I mean, that one was so far out of the zone that you would have needed a spaceship to try to call that a strike.
As Bob Euchre, the Brewers announcer, would say, just a bit outside. Watch Gandy, though, at first. Top stolen base on the team this year. He's 18 out of 23. Next best to him is 11 stolen bases for Crawford. And this is Romano. Ryan Romano, 308 average on the year. Long fires. That one hops to the backstop, and Gandy doesn't even have to try to steal the base. He takes it anyway. So quickly a runner in scoring position, not the start the Spartans want.
That's the second wild pitch in a row from Long, so obviously taking a little bit of time to settle in. You might take solace in the fact that for the season, Valdosta State's bats have been a bit weaker than Tampa, but with no outs, they do have a runner now in scoring position.
So 0-1 now, man on second. They show bunt. Romano pulls it away, but it's a strike call.
Definitely not surprised to see Romano flash a bunt there. I have a feeling that Valdosta State would very much like to get a runner on third with one out if the sacrifice does its job.
Showing bunt again. Here's the pitch. He gets it down. Runner's going to advance. He may beat it out. The throw beats it out. Trips over the base. I hope he's okay. He's down. Romano is down just behind. He tripped on the base. Beat it out easily. Limping a little bit to the base. And is he going to stay? Shaken up, no doubt, but a perfect bunt got Gandy to third. Keep an eye on him, see what they want to do here. He's walking away from the base now. Time is called. And he's walking down toward the outfield. Just kind of testing the wheel.
He had a little bit of a stumble, so definitely could have just pulled his ankle a little bit on the bag, but he's putting weight on it, and he will stay in the game, and that's great to see. And he did a job, got the runner on, and even better, there's now still 0 outs, and runners in a dangerous start. Spartans were sluggish yesterday, and today they're still stuck in neutral.
And here's the top hitter on the team, E.J. Doskow, a .382 hitter on the year. Leads the team in home runs as well with 9.
For the tournament, he's 3 for 8 with 3 RBIs so far, so he's been able to generate some offense for Valdosta State.
Long fires. Inside, that one gets away. Coming to the plate is Gandy. The throw, the tag, is out. Exceptional timing, or fortunate timing, fortuitous timing. I've seen this before. The ball hits the brick behind home plate and takes a nice bounce back toward the field. And Rulai was able to get the throw quickly to Long, who made the tag. 1 down, man on second now, but Long now has had 3 pitches that have been crazy. 2 of them will be wild pitches. The worst one of the group doesn't get recorded as a wild pitch because nobody was on. It was just ball 4, but back-to-back wild pitches, just about.
The good news is, of course, Jack, the brick allowed Rulai to make that play at the plate. And a good toss to Long, who applied a tag, had him by a couple steps.
Yeah, had that deadened at the wall, they wouldn't have got him, but it came out. I saw one a couple years ago where it hit the bricks, bounced all the way to home plate, and they made the tag.
See, that's when you're really unlucky. You see the wild pitch, you're going from third, and all of a sudden the ball's
at home plate.
And you're thinking, oh, no.
Did I misread this? What happened? 1-0 pitch. Long looks the runner back.
There's still now a runner in scoring position with 1 out, but that alleviates a lot of the pressure because an infield ball that's fielded for a fielder's choice now is probably not going to send a runner home. At worst, it would put 2 outs and a runner at third. You'd need to take it to the outfield to try to get the first run of the ball game.
Doskow, a senior from Miami. Ball outside.
Interesting thing here, even though he's already gotten out, we do see a few relievers warming up in the Spartans.
They had him out. They started him out there, believe it or not. I mean, and here comes Sam Militello, pitching coach for the Spartans. Yeah, they had them up and available immediately. I mean, as the inning started. So, don't know if they knew something in advance or just aren't going to mess around with this game.
And I will say, of course, find it interesting they elect to go with Long instead of pitcher of the year Herb. You could say, oh, well, you're looking at stats that Valdosta State looks a little weaker. Maybe they're trying to save him for Nova Southeastern. But as we've already seen Long struggle so far, 3 wild pitches, one of them to the benefit, getting the out at the plate, that could ultimately lead to some questions if Long does concede some runs and the Spartans aren't able to climb back of, well, then why didn't you start Herb any other day? You left the best pitcher in the nation on the bench the entire tournament.
But Joe Urso told me on Thursday that Herb is his 3rd pitcher.
Yeah, but of course,
he made no beefs about that.
This is also the 3rd game for the Spartans, though. So,
but this is only his 2nd starter on the mound, though.
Of course. So it kind of does confirm that Caney was more for a bullpen game, which, of course, that was a huge win for the Spartans. Arguably used a little too much offense today in that one.
So the mound visit is over. It's a 3-0 count to Daskau. 1 out, bottom of the 1st. And he walked him, 4 pitches. So that's concerning. He's not finding the strike zone, and when he does put it in the catcher's mitt, it's still not called a strike.
That's a disappointing start, but now there is a runner on first, so you can get a force out and try a double play. And again, for the season, Valdosta State's bats, they're hitting .285 and a .788 OPS, which is lower numbers than the Spartans. So maybe you're hoping to get a ground out and use your fielding to get out.
And Joe Urso said that's it. He's coming out. He's going to make the pitching change. With just 1 out in the 1st inning, I think maybe there's something wrong with Long, is because they, as I said, had a pitcher ready immediately before the inning even started. So Nick Long's day is done. He is responsible for the 2 runners on base.
I would not be surprised if it was maybe a nagging injury or a little bit of strain. If he pulled something during the warm-up and they wanted to just let him go to see what happened, because uncharacteristic lack in command so far because of those wild pitches. And it was a more conservative walk. He was pitching around. He wasn't necessarily losing his touch there, but it is going to be a substitution nonetheless.
Spartans are going right to the top of the bullpen. Braden Nelson coming in, the SSC and region relief pitcher of the year. It'll be his 22nd appearance of the year, all in relief. Does have a 5-1 record, 11 saves on the year, so Joe Urso not messing around in this elimination game. 52 innings pitched, 42 hits, 13 runs, only 6 of them earned, 11 walks, 53 strikeouts, and an ERA of 1.04.
Of course, as he warms up, it's a little bit weird, I think, for him. Maybe he's not expecting to come on bottom of the 1st inning in a playoff game. As a closer, you're thinking, oh yeah, I'm probably going to come on innings 8 through 9. Oh, it's the 1st inning and I'm already being called upon.
Yeah.
But again, every run counts. We saw the Spartans offense get off to the wrong foot yesterday and not be able to get back into the game after an explosive 4th inning from Nova Southeastern. So they definitely want, while their bats had gone down in order, to not let a single run home. And who's the best player from the bullpen to do so? Braden Nelson.
I'm sure this was all pre-planned, that if Long had a problem, Braden Nelson would be the man to come in.
Now the question is, does Nelson have the arm to go longer than just an inning or 2?
We've not seen him. I can't think of anything more than 2 innings without researching it, but yeah, you're right. How many innings will they get out of him? Coming up to the plate is Orlando Adams. Adams on the year, 284 hitter. Runners at 1st and 2nd. 1 out. No score. Man thrown out at the plate. That one bounces away, and the runners will advance. And unfortunately, the wild pitches continue. Don't know if that'll be listed as a wild pitch or a pass ball. Rule I had to try to backhand it. It was outside. We'll see how they log it.
I have a feeling that one's more of a shared fault because that was a little too low and outside.
They're calling it wild pitch.
I also think that Rulai might have been able to get a better job to try to keep it in front of him because that could have kept the runners staying put.
So 1-0 now. Runners now 2nd and 3rd. Ground ball foul. On deck is Ard. So basically what you saw from Nelson on that first pitch is he just, sometimes when you get in, the adrenaline's so pumped up, he just overstrided. Throw over to third. That one bounces away. Spartans need to be careful here. Adams back in the box. Nelson fires. Hit out into center field. No doubt going to be a tag near the wall. Caught by Cadenas, but easily tagging up from third is Romano. And Valdosta State takes a 1-0 lead in the first. 2 down now. Well hit ball by Adams.
And what's disappointing for that play, even though it's a good job by Cadenas to track all the way back, make the play at the wall, it was a wild pitch that got a runner to tag up from third and head to home. It alleviates low pressure, 2 outs, but the job to try to keep the score level, not completed, and the Blazers lead 1-0.
Brings Ard to the plate. .348 hitter on here. Second highest batting average on the team, but batting fifth in the lineup. Ball 1 to Ard. Runner on second now with 2 outs. Ard the lefty. Swing and a miss.
For the season, Ard has an .834 OPS, one of the best hitters for Valdosta State, only, of course, behind Doskow in that category. And also, it's a .348 average, so second to that category, too. Valdosta State, only 3 hitters that are over the 300 mark.
That one gets away, and another runner will advance a base. That, I think, will go down as a pass ball. That kind of went through the wickets there. No, well, I don't know if they maybe don't have the option, but they say wild pitch. It did hit in the dirt.
I think either way, 5th pass ball, wild pitch of one of those 2 in the first inning, that's not a good start. And those are honestly, you could honestly grade them as errors, or at the very least as severe as errors. And that's not a statistic that if you have too many of, you'll win a game with.
No, ground ball out to Earhart at second. Spartans out of the inning, luckily with only 1 run scoring. As Spartans really had to work to get out of that inning. Nick Long going not even through the inning, 1/3 of an inning, and Braden Nelson gets the side out. 1-0 at the end of 1. Valdosta State on top of Tampa on TampaSpartans.tv.
Just another ordinary day at UT.
Top of the second we go. The Spartans will send up Dan Sullivan, Jamarcus Lyons, and E.J. Cumbo. Sullivan's having a heck of a weekend. 4 home runs already, 3 in one game. The first game Thursday, 1 yesterday. Jamarcus Lyons also with a couple home runs this weekend. Spartans, though, will have to battle back again as they were forced to do yesterday.
And yeah, Sullivan, a really, really solid tournament so far. 6 for 11 and 11 RBIs off 4 home runs.
Sullivan coming to the plate. 356 average on the year, now with 16 home runs, 12 coming into the weekend. Radin fires. Big golfing at it, fouls it off. Radin, the lefty, sets and fires. Sullivan, that's a base hit right up the middle. Crawford throwing it back in, but Dan Sullivan keeps the hot bat going. Jamarcus Lyons up. Shout out to his grandpa who's here again today. He said he wasn't feeling well the first 2 days, but he's here, and his brother.
Of course, you've mentioned his hot bat for home runs, but just a hot bat in general is something that he's had. That's his 7th hit and 12th at-bats of the tournament, and that's not counting any walks or sacrifices or outs that aren't counted as official at-bats, so he's been very hot when putting the ball in play.
Pitch to Lyons. Catches the outside corner. Jamarcus, 322. Take that back, 227 on the year. 7 home runs.
This weekend, 3 for 6, 2 home runs, and
Ace
RBIs.
hit up the middle. Carbon copy. I tell you, these guys seem to replicate each other. On Thursday, Sullivan homered. Jamarcus followed with another homer, back-to-back. Then they came up again, and Sullivan homered, and Jamarcus homered right after that. Now they have just about carbon copy base hits. E.J. Cumbo to the plate. He needs to break out of a little slump here. Hard to believe somebody hitting 343 needs to break out of a slump, but he struck out 3 times yesterday.
Went from 351 before entering yesterday's game in the tournament to 343, so he would love to break a slump right here. With his team down by a run, but with 2 runners on, a hit to the outfield could tie this game up. He does have a lefty-lefty disadvantage. One of the reasons he was struggling yesterday, too, because Nova Southeastern had 2 lefty pitchers the entire game, and he still has that platoon disadvantage here.
Shows bunt, pulls it back. So even in this situation, Joe Urso maybe says just get him in even closer to the plate. On deck is Anthony Nunez.
And Nunez for the tournament, he's very hot too, so maybe they're saying, hey, let's use Cumbo to get the runners in a scoring position, well, both of them, and then use the 4 for 7 bat of Nunez to try to open this game up.
This time, no bunt sign, ball high.
We saw in one of the previous games with a runner on, Lala trying to get a sacrifice bunt, but drawing a walk. Brings the runner to scoring position, so it's a situation I think Ursa would also be happy with.
Ball outside, 3-1. I'm thinking take sign all the way here. If you can get that free pass, and even if you get a strike.
It's actually 3-0.
Okay.
Doesn't even have a strike.
Okay. I'm looking at 2 different things that had.
It's always tough because you sometimes look at the stats, you sometimes look at the scoreboard.
And they were both wrong. Now they're right. 3-0 pitch taken all the way, I would say. Strike call. Hardly gripped the bat there. He was taken all the way.
You always take all the way into 3-0 count unless it's a meatball that's being like a really hung curveball.
Well, you better be ready to explain to your coach why you swung at it, too.
Exactly.
3 balls, 1 strike. Oh, called strike, full count.
Similar to softball, we have a little bit of a skew to the right side of the plate here, so sometimes balls to the left are a little bit harder for us to gauge. That one on the outside corner, painted perfectly to the disappointment of Cumbo.
Full count, no outs. That looked pretty good. He just took that one down the pipe, folks. I don't even think it was a bender. He just wasn't waiting for it. Anthony Nunez to the plate.
That's disappointing. You get a full count and you just go down looking. And honestly, I'm taking a look back at yesterday's game. That's his third strikeout in a row looking for Cumbo. So very disappointing stretch so far. Even though there's still 2 runners on with 1 out, you got to think what could have happened in that previous at-bat.
Nunez to the plate. 246 on the year. But as you mentioned, a 4 for 7 in the tournament.
And 5 RBI, so he's been able to get some good hits in the clutch. Although a good chunk of those did come from the game where the Spartans pretty much found RBIs with everyone.
They stacked their averages in that one, padded them.
Well, except for Drew Earhart, he unfortunately wasn't able to.
Ball just outside, 2-0.
Instead, Earhart found a little stat padding with the home run against Nova Southeastern yesterday.
Timeout called. Radin in the stretch. Runners first and second. Here's the pitch. Outside corner, strike 2-1.
Honestly, if you're Radin on the mound, you're definitely thinking ground ball, ground ball, ground ball. Try to get at least one of the runners out.
Big gap between short and third, and there. Well, okay.
Exactly that.
But they hold the runners up. Bases loaded. And Jose Cadena's coming to the plate.
Good decision to hold him up. Gandy had a really good throw in that likely would have gotten Sullivan out at the plate off the relay. And you do get, of course, bases loaded now, and a good shot for the Spartans here to convert. And as you were mentioning, there is a gap between short and third, and that was exactly where he put it. I think it had enough height where even the shortstop in the right spot.
They really moved shortstop towards second base and really opened that up. A little more than you might normally see. Cadena's to the plate now.
We're actually going to see a mound visit really quick here. I think just telling a starter to calm down.
Yep, Greg Gillums out to the mound. Cadena's coming up, 277 on the year. Spartans need to strike here in the second. Sullivan on third, Lyons on second, Nunez on first. All getting on with base hits.
There's still time to go in the game, but if you're the Spartans in an elimination day like this, you can't risk leaving runners aboard. And especially a bases-loaded situation like this, this is a perfect chance for you to get back into this game and try to pinch your ticket to the regional championship where you're going to want revenge on Nova Southeastern. Valdosta State, of course, they want to do the same. They were sent to the losers bracket day one by Nova Southeastern and were able to eliminate Spring Hill en route to this game right here.
So Cadena steps in. Radin will pitch out of the windup. First pitch to Cadenas. Outside. One-0 pitch. A little bit low, 2-0.
Radin's fallen behind in a few of the counts he's had, but he hasn't surrendered a base on walks yet. So, well, base on balls. It's not a base on walks. A walk is a base on balls.
I almost think you give him a take sign here till he throws you a strike, even though it's only 2-0. We'll see.
You're also able to try to tax his arm a little more when you draw longer counts.
Strike call.
And now I have a feeling he's going to say, go ahead, swing away if you like a pitch.
Now you have to, yep.
As we already see, he's going to have his 35th pitch right here in 1 1/3. And if you want to bring out Valdosta State's bullpen early, that's the way you do it.
2-1. In the dirt, 3-1. Dare I say there's no place to put him.
I think you definitely here want to take this pitch and get a full count. One, puts more pressure on Raiden, because if he then throws a ball, he's not just getting another runner on base. There's no free base.
There's no room.
It would tie the game.
Cadena steps in. Raiden winds, fires. 3-1. Strike will go full.
If you do have to go out with a strikeout or a ball in play that leads to an out with bases loaded, you'd rather take the count full at this stage of the game and get a lot of extra pitches.
There it is, 3-2 pitch. Ground ball. Tops away. That's going to bring a run in. Everybody is safe. Tie game. Bases still loaded. That one just not fielded cleanly by Christopoulos. Whether they call it a hit or an error, it was a tough play. He had to range to the baseline and try to snag it backhanded. We'll see what they give.
Really rough bounce there, and it is going to be called left.
They put a hit on the board.
So, indeed, it said a single to third base. Tough play for Christopoulos. Had a weird bounce. He almost was able to hold it to try to get a force at third.
Well, at least the good thing he did is he kept it in the infield. It didn't bounce over him and head into the outfield. Spartans would have scored a couple. But a fourth hit, now Rulai at the plate, and the ball, and it hit him. It hit Rulai, and a run will come in. Tampa takes a 2-1 lead. Hit him in the lower leg or maybe even the foot.
That's
2-1 Tampa.
That's what you call taking one for the team and not just taking the pitch.
I was looking down as Jamarcus Lyons crossed the plate, and he was holding his hamstring, but then I noticed he ripped his uniform.
Ooh.
And he was just pointing out that he's got a hole in his pants.
Don't always see uniform malfunctions.
No. J.D. Urso, leadoff hitter, and the Spartans, with just one out, could be in an opportunity to put a few more runs on the board and bounce back in this game. Urso looks at a ball. Still nobody throwing in the Valdosta State bullpen.
Urso had a quiet day yesterday, but for the tournament, 4 for 9 with 2 RBIs. So his bat has still been pretty solid, as it has been all year.
Ball is high. So 4 straight hits, and then a hit batter. And now 2-0 to Urso.
I wouldn't be surprised if we do see someone just stretch out in the Valdosta State bullpen.
I'm surprised we haven't, to be honest with you.
Because you might say, oh, it's a little bit too early to take a starter out. Well,
hey, the Spartans had a guy warming up before the first pitch was thrown.
Exactly, and in an elimination game, you really have to throw everything at it. You want to bring in some bullpen guys to try to keep things calm. You want to make sure your team has a chance to still be competitive later in the game. The worst case scenario would be going down by a multitude of runs early, especially since Valdosta State's offense hasn't necessarily been at the level as some of the other teams in the tournament.
2-1, Spartans lead. Bases loaded, 1 out. Pitch to Urso. He hits a fly ball down the left field line at curving foul. Fairly well hit. Would not have left the park, but just a good ride for a long strike. 2 balls, 1 strike now.
If Ard made that play in left field, that most likely would have been able to bring home a runner. So that's one of those, if it's foul, you say, I'll just let it drop.
Some have made that decision, that I'm not going to let the sac fly work. 3-1. We're back at that situation. And bases loaded, 3 balls, 1 strike.
Now we're seeing a player stretching in the bullpen.
Raiden sets. Here's the 3-1. Ground ball heading out to shortstop, fielded by Romano. He boots it. Run scores, 3-1 Tampa. Bases still loaded, 1 out on the error by Romano. Second error of the game for the Blazers.
You can have electric bats and red-hot pitching entering a postseason, but it's fielding errors that can cost you the single games which can make or break the postseason. And right there, we saw 2 bobbled balls in a row bring home 2 Spartan runners. They take a 3-1 lead.
I don't know if Romano was trying to get it out of his mitt too quickly to try to turn 2. Lala fouls it off. We saw it yesterday against Nova Southeastern where the Spartans hit it hard but right at somebody, and the Sharks made the plays. Now they hit it right at Romano. He doesn't make the play. So the Spartans normally make teams pay when you give them opportunities. We'll see what Lala does. Here's the pitch. Fouled off in the hole 0-2.
I mean, it was the previous game against Spring Hill. There were 2 errors early on for Spring Hill, and that was in the first inning for the Spartans, and we all know what happened in the second inning where that just gave them the momentum to, just punch their ticket relatively early into the next round.
0-2 pitch. Bases loaded. Outside, 1-2. Valdosta scoring 1 in the first. Spartans were fortunate to limit it to 1 and have bounced back. Tampa with 3 in the top of the second. Lala dances away from that one. It's 2-2.
A little bit cynical thinking here, but maybe if you're Ursa, you're saying, no, you got to lean in a tiny bit. Take the hit.
I've seen players do that. I mean, they're just like, hey, you'll get over a bruise.
Yep, and obviously you're not allowed to fully lean in, but if you do it subtle enough, you can let it go.
2-2. Wow, he just went after that one outside. Swings and misses. 2 down now. Bases still loaded. Drew Earhart to the plate.
So Brandon Radin gets his 3rd strikeout of the game right there, and Earhart has a chance with bases loaded. 48 pitches right now for Radin.
Yeah, he's got a lot of pitches after 1 2/3. Pitch to Earhart. Down the middle, strike call. Cadenas on 3rd, Rulai on 2nd, and Urso on 1st for Tampa. They'll get the wheels moving if Earhart makes contact. He's behind 0-2.
That's an if that's usually a yes in the regular season, but so far, Earhart hasn't been able to do much, but he did hit a home run last game, so that's his only hit so far of the tournament.
0-2. Outside. One-two pitch to Earhart. Down the first base. Fielded by Doskow. Steps on the base. Inning is over. Spartans, though, 3 runs, 4 hits. Benefited by an error, and at the end of an inning and a half, Braden Nelson striding back out for Tampa. It is 3-1 Tampa on TampaSpartans.tv.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby. Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela burns it. Incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org/opportunity.
This is the University of Tampa.
Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
Bottom of the second of an interesting baseball game we have here. This is an elimination game of the South Regional. Valdosta State and Tampa. Valdosta State scoring a run in the first. Tampa fortunate that that's all that happened. And then the Spartans come back with 3 in the top of the second to take a 3-1 lead. Harper at the plate now. Spartans starting pitcher Nick Long went 1/3 of an inning, and Joe Urso pulled him.
I have a feeling the reason behind that probably was a little injury or just something not working
Something
out.
didn't look right.
Yeah.
Because they had Braden Nelson, who's on the mound now, warming up in the first, during the first batter. They were not taking any chances.
And I think because you've been able to rest your bullpen those first 2 games, you've only seen a total of 3 different relievers take the mound so far for the Spartans, not including, of course, Caney, who had started the first game a few days ago. They have some arms to work with, so they're able to, have a little bit more of a bullpen.
And they were able to use Drew Martin twice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they've been able to keep their arms rested and ready to go for what could be a long day for the Spartans, should they hold on to the 3-1 lead.
You hope it's a long day. Doubleheaders are never fun, but when they're important. Nice pitch for the strikeout. Nelson finding his command now.
For Nelson, that's number 54 on the season.
He is the SSC and the region. He is the SSC and the region relief pitcher of the year. A report from the other half of the South Regional. In a game that's being continued from yesterday, St. Leo has battled back. There's a pop-up, should be playable. Lala waits. That's had hang time on it, but he makes the catch. St. Leo and Delta State. St. Leo has battled back in that game. I think it's a final. Okay, it's a final now. They started it yesterday. I think it was 3-0 Delta State at one point, but St. Leo battles back. They're the number 2 seed or the top seed in that half of the region, and they just took a 6-3 victory. They had a lot of rain just north of here. St. Leo about 40 miles north of Tampa.
Bad news for St. Leo as well. They're going to have to play in 2 more games today, potentially, if they're running.
There's a base hit. No, Earhart ranges. Does he have the throw in time? Oh, perfect throw to Sullivan to end the inning. A quick inning for Tampa. Boy, I thought that one had eyes and was going to get through, and Earhart ranged behind the bag and made the throw. Sullivan used all of his 6'4" to get that play.
And Earhart said his bat hasn't been the best throughout the tournament, but those fielding plays, still top-notch.
We'll be right back. TampaSpartans.tv.
This is the University of Tampa. UT students travel from across the nation and around the globe to join a dynamic learning community. There are 150 academic programs, continuing studies for non-traditional students, and a highly ranked graduate school. NCAA Division II athletics.
Dan, see what you can do. Top of the third, Dan Sullivan to the plate for Tampa. Second at bat of the game. Solid single to start the second inning. Spartans came close to batting around in that second inning. 3 runs on 4 hits. Big swing and a miss. Big swing and a miss again. Spartans dodged a big bullet in the first inning as Nick Long, I think there were some issues, but 3 wild pitches, walked a couple, and one of his wild pitches with a man on third bounced close enough back to home plate that they threw the runner out at the plate. Ball outside.
Yeah, that was a very lucky play for the Spartans that it really could have put them down. Would have been initially 1-0 back then. And if that run did come home, this game would look a little bit closer at 3-2.
And a shot, but right at the second baseman. Gutierrez making the play. So that's twice now. Spartans have hit it solidly. Line drive outs. Jamarcus Lyons to the plate.
This is the one time you don't want Lyons to copy Sullivan, unless you do have the second base
or
move
hit
a
it.
little bit out of position.
Yeah, try to hit it as hard. There he does, base hit. Good call, Taylor.
With that play, Lyons is now improved to 5 for 8 in the tournament. Really solid at bats.
You know, I am always surprised when I look at his stats and I see he's like a 230-ish hitter.
Yeah.
It's like he seems like he's always on base. What is his on base?
Well, maybe sometimes if you're in the 5 spot in the 4th inning, you're being told to sacrifice for Dan Sullivan.
Yeah.
That could be one of the reasons that average is a little lower.
Cumbo. Struck out looking in the first, or the second.
Still on that nasty struck out looking streak. That's one of those things you got to shake off. And you have to wonder how they're going to be able to cure those little strikeout bug.
Well, he's too good a hitter to let it last too long.
Of course.
We'll see what happens here. Throw to first.
They just made the check as well because Lyons isn't the best ceiling option on the team. But again, you just want to make sure that...
Just let them know they notice him.
Yep.
Ooh, swings at one low out inside.
Because especially if you do catch a runner off guard, you're now looking at 2 outs and empty bases.
One on the way. Loops one. That may fall. Does it stay up enough? It's, no. Coming in from right field is Gandy to make the catch. And the good thing is Cumbo made contact and got it out in the field.
That's a good start to break a strikeout streak, and now he just needs to get away on base.
Anthony Nunez singled his last time up. Spartans with 4 singles in the inning. 3 in a row to load the bases with no outs. Then a hit by pitch. Put the first run across. Nunez looks at a strike. 2 outs now. Lyons on first. Goes after that one in the dirt. Harper able to block it, keep it in front of him. So quickly behind 0-2 at 2 outs. Raiden in the stretch. Runner goes. Ground ball. Does it get through? Takes a hop. I don't know if he's going to have time. No. Didn't have the time to get it there. Romano with a long throw. Lyons took the force away, but I think that was so deeply hit into the hole it wasn't going to matter. And that's a nice base hit for Anthony Nunez. 2 on now with 2 out.
Lyons was already moving, so Romano being able to pick it up, I think, kept him at second, because otherwise, Lyons could have just kept the Jets turning and made it to third. And that is another single for the Spartans. And now up is someone who also singled on his previous plate appearance.
Jose Cadenas steps in. Runner in scoring position for him. Ground ball out to second. Takes a nice hop. And Gutierrez throws him out to end the inning. Spartans do not scratch in this inning. We've played 2.5, and it's still Tampa 3, Valdosta State 1 on TampaSpartans.tv.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
Bottom of the third, Tampa 3, Valdosta State 1. Braden Nelson on the mound for the Spartans. Normally the closer, forced to come in after a third of an inning of this ball game. I didn't necessarily go to the source. I went to the source, but I don't know if it's the official source. Went to his dad just a second ago and said, how many innings can he? And he said, probably 4. That's not the official source. Joe Urso is the official source. But
well, so far he's burned through 1 2/3 with only 13 pitches
Yeah.
and a strikeout. So we know he can retire batters pretty quickly, and they're going to hope that he can at least go another inning or two.
Gutierrez to the plate, the number 9 hitter. First pitch a little bit low. Swing and a miss on that one. Gutierrez, 232 on the year. That's low, 2-1. Nelson out of the stretch, fires. Hit out toward Cumbo, ranging a little bit toward the foul line, and makes the catch just inside the foul line for the out. As we said, our cameras don't move, so you got to trust me, he made the catch. Top of the order, Gandy at the plate. He walked to start this game. Or start the game, the first at-bat for Valdosta anyway.
He got all the way to third, but was picked off at home on that wild pitch.
Yeah, he got the walk. We noted that he's a base stealer, but he got to second on a wild pitch. Got to third on a wild pitch. Tried to score on a wild pitch.
And that is where his luck ran out on the wild pitches for advancing.
Fouls it off. No balls, 2 strikes. Nelson ahead of Gandy here. And he's way ahead of him. Strikeout for Braden Nelson. His first of the game. Second of the game, I should say. 2 down now here in the third.
And an important thing for that strikeout, 3 pitches needed to retire him. So again, keeping his pitch count low, trying to extend his stint, and obviously he is arguably the best pitcher in the Spartans' entire staff, not counting some of their electric starters. So when he comes in, he's able to go maybe 3 innings of shutting Valdosta State down. That could be huge for the Spartans.
Romano, shortstop. That ball is outside. You know, there's always been kind of the philosophy that if you're 0-2, you waste one. And I'm like, because they're like, hey, but he's expecting a strike. It's like, well, you should always be expecting a strike, so why really waste one?
Exactly. It's kind of a mix, though. When you want to do a breaker, you don't want to waste the pitch. You want to make it so
you want to tease him. Yeah.
Yes, you want to tease him so he swings and misses and make him look a little bit like foolish and try to get the out. Or you try to throw some heat and get him looking the wrong way.
Fly ball out to right center, long run, and falls in for the base hit. He's going to dig for second. Here's the throw coming in. Standing up is Romano. I think the ball actually bounced off his back at second base, but he saw 2 all the way. That was a long run for both Cadenas and Cumbo, and Romano just hightailed it to second. Went in standing up. It was a little closer than I think he might have thought.
He hit it in no man's land. That's a really difficult spot to field it.
Doskow to the plate now. He also walked back in the first. Goes after that one outside, swing and a miss.
And Doskow, easily the best hitter for Valdosta State all season, has a chance of the runner in scoring position. And so far in the tournament, still doing pretty well. 3 for 8, and he has brought home 3 RBIs. Hasn't had a chance for a true at-bat yet in this game, but he might have one here.
(0-1) on the way. This one is in the dirt outside. 1-1. Two outs. Romano on second. Tampa up 3-1 here in the third. And the pitch. Ground ball, base hit. Do they send him? They're signaling to come in. Here's the throw from Lala. Coming to the plate. Rulai gets it, makes the tag. He is out. What a nice throw by Jordan Lala, and what a great play by Josh Rulai to hold his spot and take that throw on a one-hop and make the tag.
It was a well-hit ball to left, but Lala picking it up, cocks it back and powers it up and sends that one home with power. And it gets in the split second, right on time. You could have even called it a tie, but they're going to give it to him, and the final out of the inning keeps the game 3-1. What a play.
3-1. We'll go to the fourth right here on TampaSpartans.tv. Fourth inning we go. Radin back on the mound for Valdosta State. Bang, bang play at home plate ended the bottom of the third on the base hit. But perfect throw from Jordan Lala got the runner at the plate. That's 2 runners now who have been thrown out at the plate for Valdosta State. One trying to score from third on a wild pitch, and this one trying to score from second on a single. Spartans will send up Josh Rulai to the plate, number 9 hitter in the order, the catcher, who made that play at the plate. Then he rips one down the line. Does it stay fair? Gone! A home run for Rulai. Woo, he turned on that on the very first pitch, and the Spartans lead 4-1.
From a perfect throw to a perfect tag to a perfect shot to the left field wall. The Spartans lead by 3 as Rulai takes that the distance.
He must have been pumped up from that play at the plate. First home run of the year, folks.
Teammates giving him the home run chain, celebrating his first of the year, and what a time to get that solo shot.
You know, he took the thunder away from me because he made the great play at the plate, and I was going to say, how often does a player make a great play and then lead off an inning? Daniel's heard this one before, but I'll pose it to you. What are the chances that a player makes a great play on the field and then leads off an inning? There's one blooped out into left field, coming in and caught, Urso. So what do you think? What are the chances of a player coming to the plate after making a great play?
I'd say for a normal player, maybe looking at 10%, but if you're looking at a player like Rulai, he was 100% there.
So, all right. Well, the answer is 1 of 9.
1 of 9.
He's got to be one of the batters.
Yeah. He's
one of the 9 batters will lead off the inning. So it's not.
Right.
It's a trick question.
Yeah. But even so, 10%. That's actually relatively.
You're
close.
really close. You're very close. I was going to say, dang it, he's close.
All I needed to do was just make that like 11.5% or whatever the actual percentage.
Because I posed that to other people, and they're like, I don't know, 1 in 1,000.
Yep.
Like, nope, 1 in 9. Lala to the plate. Jordan struck out twice today. Unaccustomed for him. Knowing him, he'll break that pattern at this at-bat. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
With that, Raiden over 70 pitches. So obviously we do see a catcher in the bullpen now and some warm-up action. Some nice camouflage uniforms for Valdosta State.
That one bounces in the dirt, 3-2 count.
The only downside for their uniform is a little bit trickier to see. White numbering.
The numbers,
exactly who's in the bullpen. But I still say it's a really, really nice looking uniform.
It is. Full count. Raiden with the pitch. Fouled off. Stays alive. Three-two. Out to short. Romano fields it. Long throw. Close, but he got him. Tell you, Lala can hustle and also has the advantage of being a lefty. Got him a little bit closer, but not quite.
He's got the most stolen bases on the team, so we know how fast he can be on the base path, and only a step behind there. Romano needed to make a clean enough throw to get him, and he did, because if he was only a little bit off, a second of hesitation, Lala would have had an infield single.
Yeah, if he'd have stutter stepped, it would have been a base hit. Drew Earhart to the plate. In the dirt, ball 1. Throw back to the pitcher, actually almost looked like a throw to second. So Raiden back, ready. Earhart at the plate. 1-0 pitch. Outside, ball 2. Drew's brother plays for Oklahoma State. Hit a leadoff home run in a game yesterday. And then he rips one down the line there. That'll go in for a single. 1 hop fielded by Ard. Nice base hit for Drew. Base hit number 8 for Tampa today.
He's going to be ecstatic. That's the first hit he's had that didn't leave the yard. because first game he was the only Spartan to really struggle, but him and his brother having some really solid postseasons for each of their respective schools. His brother, Oklahoma State, and here he's at the University of Tampa.
Dan Sullivan, this is an opportunity Dan likes. Momentum, man on. And he kind of went after that one outside. Swing and a miss, strike one.
Last time up, Dan had a really well-hit ball, but unfortunately for him, it went right to Gutierrez and laid it really nicely in his glove. So, the runner on, he's hoping for a little bit better luck here. Counts 0-1 now.
That one froze Dan for a second, but called a ball. One and one, Raiden in the stretch. And that one's hit out into left field. Right into, that one almost got away from Ard in left. I think he came in a little too quickly and had to actually reach up quickly to make it. Spartans get a run. Josh Rulai on the first pitch of the inning hit one out. Spartans lead 4-1. We go to the bottom of the fourth right here on TampaSpartans.tv.
College sports.
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
A return to normal, and all we love about sports.
You've instilled resilience, focus, and selflessness in us. We've put those lessons to work.
We've found strength and unity in each other.
You continue to take us places we never imagined.
You bring out the best in us.
So when we look forward, we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We see a better world for all of us and for college sports.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Bottom of the fourth, Orlando Adams steps into the box. Braden Nelson on the hill for the Spartans. Tampa 4-1, added a run in the top of the fourth. Adams looks at a called strike. Hit a long sacrifice fly back in the first inning to bring in the first run of the game. Sent Cadenas all the way to the warning track. Hits one deep and foul. Wow. He has some power, folks.
I think that one might have escaped the beehive. One of them was able to fly away, but I know it will be disappointing for him. Went just a little too far to the left and out of camera, so not a home run.
Adams only has 2 home runs on the year, but he's certainly showing power here in this game. A set up outside, pitched just a little outside. 1-2. Swing and a miss in the dirt. They tag him, strike out. And we've got one down here in the fourth. Officially now, Braden Nelson with 3 innings pitched.
And 3 strikeouts, so he's already showing some great stuff. And even as a closer, he's come on and taken a de facto start right here. And he's done a great job.
I'm keeping an eye down in the Spartan bullpen because, as we both mentioned, how far does your closer go when you bring him in after a third of an inning? I saw Michael Paul, who started the game yesterday, go down to the bullpen, but he was out after a couple innings. So probably Joe would not be at all hesitant to put him in.
Pretty sure Paul will have enough gas in tank to go 50, 60 pitches. That could be all they need if they keep retiring Valdosta State at this frequency, as that one's fouled away.
Ard fouling that ball off, 1-1. Winner of this game lives to play another game today. Winner of this game will play Nova Southeastern later today. Ground ball gets through for the base hit. Hit number 4 on the day for Valdosta State will bring Harper to the plate, the catcher.
A good job on that hit to find the side of the pitcher's mound, get a nice little bounce that's able to split both the shortstop and second baseman, and Urso and Earhart to just get into the shallow outfield for a nice little single. 1 out and a runner on, you do have a force out, but a runner on will certainly help you in this situation.
I don't know, I didn't notice this the first time, but Harper's pants are above his knee. I don't know if I've ever seen a player do that.
They're more shorts than pants.
Shorts, yeah.
Maybe they were cut. Interesting style choice, but, maybe it gives you a little more flexibility.
A 1 pitch. That is hit down the line. Does it stay fair? If it's fair, it's gone. It is. Home run for Harper, and it's a 4-3 game. Harper turned on that pitch from Nelson and took it deep for his 3rd home run of the year.
And not a surprise there. Yeah, you're closer entering the 3rd inning. Maybe we already saw one of those balls go really high earlier, so not surprised to see that one this time taken full distance and staying fair. 4-3 game, Valdosta State showing some signs of life, and I have a feeling that this will be Nelson's last inning, and won't be surprised if a few more Spartans players start to stretch up and warm up in the bullpen. On that play, of course, Harper, a really good shot right there.
Brings Crawford to the plate, now a 4-3 game, so Josh Rulei's home run taking added significance. It is the margin at the moment. Pitch to Crawford. Strike call. Fouled into the mitt of Rulai. Strike 2.
We saw Carlos Ray yesterday, after conceding a home run, go on a tear of 4 strikeouts and 5 batters. And I wonder, maybe Nelson is motivated the same way. He's already ahead very early in the count with some good stuff.
In the dirt, inside. One, 2, way outside. 2-2 count now. Way high, it's gone 3-2. And the full count pitch. Inside, he walked him. So follows up a home run with a walk.
The tough start after that count went to 0-2. A good job there by Crawford to get on base. And that is going to bring up the electric hot bat of Mike Chrysopoulos. 5 for 7, 4 RBIs in total in the tournament. The best hitter so far for Valdosta State, even though he's in the 8th spot.
Here comes Sam Militello out to the mound, Spartan pitching coach. Nobody throwing in the Spartan bullpen.
Maybe they think Paul is warm enough that he doesn't need to stretch. At this point, after conceding
no.
a home run and walk,
no.
I really wouldn't want to keep Nelson out there. He's had a great start so far.
Hang on. Let's not be celebrating too soon, Tampa. Ristopoulos, third baseman, grounded out to second base is First time up. And the first pitch. No, he goes to first. Sullivan with a nice save. Crawford is 11 of 14 stolen bases on the year. And the pitch. Fly ball center field. Cadena's back, waits on the track or near it anyway. Makes the catch for the second out.
I think a big thing we're seeing from Valdosta State, they're getting some really good contact. That's the second time Cadenas has gone all the way back to the wall to make a play. And that's the third hit ball this inning that you think, oh, maybe can this leave the park? One of them went to the left, one of them not far enough straight, and one of them did.
Gutierrez, second baseman now at bat. Crawford on first, and the throw over.
Just also a quick note for Crawford. That was his fourth walk drawn in the entire tournament, so he's been getting on base quite often. Along with that, he's 4 for 5 from the plate.
Well, first pitch. Just down low. 1 ball, no strikes.
Ooh.
1-0 pitch. Tapped. Stays fair. He's going to field it, toss him out, end the inning. That was one of those that, depending on the situation, you might let it go foul, but because it was all right in front of Nelson, he makes the play and gets out of the inning. So 2 runs do score on a home run. 4-3. We head to the 5th. Tampa on top by 1 on TampaSpartans.tv.
Welcome to the University of Tampa. My name is Tucker Whitman and I'm a junior marketing major here at UT. Today we're going to look at some of the highlights of our beautiful Riverside campus here in downtown Tampa. We'll start at Plan Hall. This historic building was opened in 1891 as the Tampa Bay Hotel and now serves as the main academic building here at UT, with 4 floors of classrooms as well as faculty and administrative offices. Next up, the Vaughn Center, the hub of campus life and activities. This multi-purpose building includes the campus bookstore, our primary cafeteria plus an additional food court, a theater, as well as offices and meeting rooms for student organizations. The Vaughn Center is also one of UT's residence halls, providing 5 floors of student rooms. Morsani Hall is another residence hall here at UT. In addition to housing approximately 450 students, this building offers another selection of eateries as well as a small grocery store. Now let's check out the Sykes College of Business. This academic building houses classrooms and faculty offices for UT's undergrad and graduate business students. This building also has a real-time stock trading room. Right next door is the Sykes Chapel for Faith and Values. This gorgeous interfaith chapel features a large main hall complete with a massive pipe organ, as well as meditation rooms and meeting rooms. Student healthcare is a major priority for us here at UT. The Dickey Health and Wellness Center is accessible to all students and provides high-quality services including basic medical care, counseling, and wellness programs. On the east side of campus, you'll find the McDonald-Kelsey Library. Here, students can learn from a large collection of books, periodicals, and digital databases. They can also take advantage of our numerous study rooms and computers. The Academic Success Center is another great resource for students. This is your one-stop shop.
And we head to the top of the 5th. Raiden still on the mound. Tampa up 4-3, taking over. Taylor Stolworthy had the lead.
Yep, the Spartans still lead 4-3, but Valdosta State was able to bite into that just a little bit off a good home run. Had some distance and cleared the left field wall to make it a 4-3 game. So after Tampa had scored on a Rulai home run, Valdosta State had responded. First pitch taken outside, this time taken inside. Lyons leads off for the Spartans. He's 2 for 2 with 2 singles, and he also went all the way around back in the second inning. That one's in the dirt, so Lyon's going to stay ahead. Count goes to 2-1. From the stretch, outside again. So, of course, we've seen Lions do some good things this weekend, batting behind Dan Sullivan. And in the first inning, we saw him hit nearly identical line drives. They're not going to want him to replicate the out that Dan Sullivan just had, though. 3-1. And that one's a wild pitch, and it's going to put Lions on base to start off the inning. See some action going on in the Valdosta State bullpen. And you just wonder, of course, Ryden already at 79 pitches. +5 from that at bat.
Yeah, he's approaching 100, and we're in the 5th.
So you can't imagine he's going to go too much further. And we do have E.J. Cumbo up here. Finally broke his strikeout streak, but flew out. Instead, they're going to want him to put a better ball in play to try to get the Spartans offense moving one more time. Both teams' seasons on the line here. The loser done for good. Cumbo's going to drop a bunt.
Good bunt.
That's well hit. Out by a step, but he gets Lions to second. That would help put the Spartans up by 2 should Lions come all the way around. And Cumbo is able to make a very nice productive out right there. The Spartans' bottom half of the order, 7, 8, 9 hitters, doing really well today. 4 for 5. So they're hitting well. They're hot, including this man right here, Nunez. In total, he's 2 for 2 today, with 2 singles. And we're going to see a call to the pen. Looks like they are going to be making the change right here, as he pointed out to the right. They do have one mound visit before they do make a change official, but nope, that'll be all we're going to see for Ryden.
It's the head coach, Greg Willems, so usually that's the official word.
Sometimes you'll see a coach come out and talk, but most of the time, that's a sign saying, yep, we're making that change. 4 1/3, 3 strikeouts, 4 earned on 8 hits. That's the stat line, as we are now going to see someone new taking the mound. And number 37.
Coming into pitch, number 37, J.J. Finn, has a 6.23 ERA, 5-3 on the year. 15th, it'll be his 16th start. He has started 10 games on the year. And 52 innings pitched, 71 hits, 43 runs, 36 of them earned. And he's walked 16, struck out 33.
Finn, we know he's got the distance to go long, so I wonder just how long that Valdosta State will want him in for. They'll try to keep things quiet and eat up some more innings. He's gone in and out of the rotation, and here, coming in as a longer reliever. And we'll have a runner on second to start out his stint. While he's warming up, we can take some time to look over the tail of the tape between these two. Valdosta State faced Spring Hill yesterday in the losers bracket. A 9-5-1 sent him to this game here. Meanwhile, Tampa's game saw 9 runs being scored for the other team, Nova Southeastern, and that sent them here to the losers bracket and a 9-3 loss. We've mentioned it a few times, but later today, Nova Southeastern will face this game's winner. And should Nova Southeastern win that game, they will be the regional champion and head to the Super Regional and face the winner on the other side of that bracket. We won't have that for you yet because there's still quite a few games to play. There was a lot of rain yesterday at St. Leo, where it's being hosted, and we only recently finished St. Leo surviving in the first game of the losers bracket. However, Valdosta State and Nova do have chances to host a Super Regional should they win in the regional, but if Tampa wins as the number 1 seed in the bracket, they will automatically host. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Obviously still, we're continuing top of the 5th with 1 out and a runner on. And it's going to be Nunez ready to go.
Right-handed pitcher in, so Nunez bats lefty. He's a switch hitter.
That's going to be grounded to short. Nunez out by a step.
He made it
was
close.
a good play again by Romano, and indeed, it was a slower grounder, so Romano needed to be alert, and he gets it. The good news for Lions is it does get him to third, so it's a productive out, and now there are 2 outs in the inning, and we're going to see Cadenas come up, looking to try to help the Spartans' cause right here. Quick start for Finn to get his first out on his first pitch. Cadenas grounded out last time to second. 1 for 2 on the day. That is strike 1 taken. Ready from the stretch. He's going to ground that. Might be a play at the plate. Can Cadenas beat the throw? No. The Spartans get a base runner, but they strand him. The score is still 4-3 as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning here. Playoff baseball continues on Tampa Spartans TV after this.
I pledged.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby. Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela Burgess. An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org/opportunity.
We're back at the University of Tampa. Regional baseball continues, and we are set to go for the bottom of the 5th inning. Leading off is Gandy, has a walk-in strikeout to his name today. The Spartans and Blazers have had a bit of a rivalry, mainly in the postseason, but Valdosta 5-2 advantage in the series between them and the Spartans in total. Last time they met was in 2019, where the Blazers went 8-3, swing and a miss for strike 1. The second pitch here, another swing and miss from Gandy. We're still seeing Nelson on the mound for the Spartans. 3 2/3 pitched in total. He's the main closer, so you do wonder when he might run out of gas. My colleague Jack asked his father, and he said he feels he could probably go 4 innings. As that's going to be grounded, Urso makes the play at short. Slow throw, so he's going to be able to run it out. That's one of those plays that we've seen Romano make. A quicker throw, was able to get the runner those 2 times. Urso hesitated for just a second, and because of that, it's a lead-off single. Romano set to go here. 308 average and 833 OPS on the season for him. And he's the only perfect batter so far for Valdosta State when it comes to getting 2 hits each. Doskow on deck was 1 for 1, having advanced via other means. But Romano, 2 for 2, single and double. Triple and home run shy of the cycle. Throw back to first just to keep Gandy in check. Gandy, of course, 18 stolen bases on the season. Strike 1 taken there on the outside corner. He's been caught stealing 5 times, but they're going to want to make sure Gandy doesn't go for number 19. today, Valdosta State's actually hitting 400, and they're hitting 500 with runners on. So, after a sluggish start to their bats, they've started to come alive. That one's going to go low, ball one. We see the infield relatively in from third and first. Well, mainly from third with Nunez, because they are going to be wary of a sacrifice bunt. Last time a bunt had gone down, the Spartans weren't able to field it and get the out in time. So they're going to be on the lookout for that. Here's the 1-1. They throw back to first just to make sure Gandy is still there. He is. Still an empty Spartans bullpen, putting a lot of trust in the closer. He's really been good so far, but again, when will fatigue start to kick in? That's a question Spartan fans won't want to find out. That one's low, 2-1. A dangerous base stealer on first can get in your head if you're the pitcher. Because Nelson's been usually so successful in shorter stints, he hasn't needed to worry about having a tired arm and having a runner on. Fires back again, keeping Gandy there. Doing his best job as Gandy. Again, a small lead. That one's strike two. And they actually nearly get him because Gandy was a little bit further off first. Gandy back in time. Middle of the order due up for Valdosta State. If there's no double play, we'll definitely see Doskow and Adams ready to go. From the stretch to 2-2. Trying to go for second, and that is going to get away. Gandy won't take anything more than that. And that is another pass ball wild pitch, one of the two for the Spartans. Scored as a wild pitch. That one was in the dirt. And Coach Urso, I think now trying to get maybe a little more bullpen action ready. Count at 3-2. Potential payoff pitch coming up here. Swing and a miss, strike three. And he'll get the first out of the inning. It took a few pitches, but Romano goes down. And up will step Doskow. So far, he's 3 for 8 with 3 RBIs in the tournament entering today. You could call that 4 for 9 now. He drew a walk in his first at bat and singled in the second. Runner on, 1 out. Top home run hitter for Valdosta State. He's found it over the yard 9 times this season with 53 RBIs. Just outside, ball 1. The rain has stayed away for now. We bumped up the starting times to make sure we weren't going to cross any paths. And so far, it is a nice day at Tampa. Currently 88 degrees. That one gets away from Rulai, but he's back on it. Count now at 1-1. Taking a look for the future. Could see some potential showers later today, but for now, still plenty of time to get this game in. Wonder if that could have an effect for Nova's game as they take on the winner of this one. Gets a sign, ready from the stretch. That's going to be grounded to third. Nunez makes the play. And Sullivan needed to make a jumping catch there, but he had a 2-step advantage over Doskow, so he was still able to come back down on the bag in time, 2 away. And Nunez kept Gandy in second with a quick check before the throw. Orlando Adams had a sacrifice fly back in the first inning and struck out in the 4th inning. 3 for 8 with one RBI entering the day, and now will find himself 3 for 9, but with 2 RBIs today throughout the tournament. 2 outs here. He's got a chance to try to bring what would be the tying run home. Nelson on 55 pitches. Number 56 is caught by him, and he'll get the final out of the inning. Great reactions by Nelson, and the side is retired. They get a single hit, but keep the runner stranded. 4-3 Spartans lead with the top half of the 6th coming right up.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams, discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
So we are back, top of the 6th inning for this elimination showdown between the Spartans and Valdosta State Blazers. I'm Taylor Storthy, and you're still watching on Tampa Spartans TV, NCAA Playoff Baseball. And this man right here has had a pretty busy day behind the plate. A couple wild pitches thrown Rulai's way. He's been able to make some big plays at the plate. And right there, he's going to get his second hit of the game as that drops down in left field. On the first pitch of the inning, the Spartans will get a leadoff base runner. Yesterday we were discussing how base runners that get on base usually score about 33% of the time, regardless whether they are leadoff or not, walk or hit by pitch. And now, top of the order back up. Urso, after a very energetic game against Spring Hill, has been quiet since. He's going to try to drop a bunt. That goes well foul. He's flown out twice and also got on base with an error on an RBI. So for the tournament, thanks to that, Urso's record has gone down to 4-12 at the plate, but he does have now 3 RBIs throughout this end of the week and weekend. That's going to be grounded hard, but grounded foul off screen. Out of range for Doskow, because Doskow was on the base, keeping an eye on Rulai. That one, a little bit foul. 0-2 count now. Urso hitting over 400 this season. That one's in the dirt. Ball 1. So on the mound for Valdosta State is Finn. He's come on from the bullpen. He's had some starts this season and over 6 ERA, but was able to get 2 outs quickly. Well, he's now completed a full inning of work with that swing into Mr. Merso, and that's the first out of the inning. That's going to bring Lala back up to the plate. He struck out twice and grounded out. Uncharacteristic slow day for Lala. This season a 363 average entering yesterday's game and 17 stolen bases. That one's going to be taken outside, ball 1. So in total throughout the tournament, he's 5 for 11 and has found 6 RBIs. Gets ahead in the count now, 2-0. Runner on, 1 out, ready from the stretch. Not ready yet, they're going to call time. We see some Nova Southeastern fans, coaches, players getting ready, getting into the crowd. Maybe getting a little scouting report last minute for these two teams. 2-0 from the stretch. Strike 1. That was on the outside corner and a little bit of opposite breaking action. Looked like a sinker there. Runner on, 1 out. Swing and a miss in the dirt. Finn cast the bait pitch and come up with a nice whiff right there. 2-2. Fouled away, so Lala will stay alive. He doesn't want to get a third strikeout and have an 0 for 4 game. On deck, Drew Earhart, as he then starts the middle of the Spartans' order. Fouled away. Valdosta State has never lost to the Spartans while playing at the UT Baseball Stadium. Although today, or 2 days ago, they did lose to Nova Southeastern here. But usually has the Road Warriors in the series against the Spartans, even though they're technically a home team, as the count stays alive after that foul. Valdosta State hasn't seen defeat. The only defeats they've had were at neutral sites or back at home in Valdosta. Now 2-2 count again to Lava. Count goes full. You wouldn't want to walk Lala with 2 runners on and 1 out. It would bring up the middle bats of the order for the Spartans, the guys who can really hit it far and bring some runs home. And ball 4 indeed. Lala works a walk after going down 2-2. And that is going to bring up Drew Earhart. He's 1 for 3 today. Good showing today. We see some more Spartan fans here. We also see some visitors from Valdosta State. Definitely expect to see more Nova Southeastern fans later today. 2 on, 1 out. First pitch taken. That one a breaker going down in the zone. Strike 1. The Spartans have been hitting .360 today, but with runners on, they're .286 and .222 with 2 for 9 with runners in scoring position. So getting a little bit less clutch when runners are on base. That one's going to be in the dirt. Ball 1. So Earhart ready to go. 1-1. In the dirt again, ball 2. Earhart wouldn't mind getting on base via walk. He's got Dan Sullivan up next, and Dan Sullivan's bat could really be considered a 1,000-degree knife because of how hot he's been this weekend. He's going to line that down the third base line. This will likely send one home. Urso sends him home. The throw from left. The Spartans take a 5-3 lead. Runners still on first and second with 1 out. Earhart does the job to get an RBI single. That leaves 2 on with 1 out for Dan Sullivan. And this is exactly what the Spartans needed. They conceded a 2-run shot back in the 4th inning to take a 2-run lead that had been a 3-run lead back down to 1. And now we're going to see a consultation on the mound. And you wonder if they're going to make a pitching change, although Valdosta State's bullpen's empty, so even though it's the head coach, likely just be a little discussion. Potentially game planning how to attack the Spartans' hottest hitter of the tournament so far. Other side of the bracket, Rollins in the winner's side, defeating Lee right now, 2-0. Top of the second, still underway. Rollins with a couple runners on in a dangerous position. And wonder if Rollins can try to book their ticket for the championship match in that region. They're the 3 seed. If they win that region, that's bad news for Valdosta State and Nova, because they'd have to go to Rollins to play in the Super Regional. Finn's still out there, ready to face Sullivan from the stretch. That one's inside, ball 1. Of course, Sullivan, a dangerous hitter, you might want to pitch around, but do you? Lyons is on deck, and he's 2 for 2 today. And we've seen him hit a couple home runs so far in the tournament. Both of them, of course, coming in the 2nd inning of Game 1 on back-to-back jacks. That one outside, ball 2. Here's the 2-0 to Sullivan. Sullivan fouls that one away. 2-1. They were able to score earlier on that Earhart single. They still got a runner in scoring position. Their fastest runner on the team. Their best base stealer. And they've also got Earhart there at first. Both of them can make their way around the base paths. Swing and a miss for Sullivan. Goes down 2-2. Sullivan 1 for 3 on the day, looking to improve that. He had a very hard hit out in the 3rd inning. See a little gap between short and 3rd, playing a shift. That's outside, ball 3. And whether we're seeing Romano all the way to 2nd just to keep an eye on the base stealer Lala, or whether they want to try to get Sullivan to hit it to the shift, it's funnily enough, we've actually seen Sullivan pull it more to the left side, including that near foul ball home run he had against Spring Hill. He's fouled that one away, 3-2, still. It's an crucial at-bat for the Spartans. A successful hit here could really give them a larger lead. For Valdosta State, this could again be one of the biggest plays of the season for them. Dangerous spot. Sullivan gets under that one. That's going deep. Will it stay in? It won't! See ya! 3-run shot! Make it 5 for the tournament for Dan Sullivan! And that is huge for the Spartans. It's a winner-go-home game, and the Spartans one step closer to victory. They lead 8-3 in the top of the 6th. Sullivan took that one deep. A 3-run shot. 14 RBIs for the tournament, and he gets that home run chain. It's a 4-run inning so far for the Spartans. Empty bases and only one out. And Lyons is up there. And you know, you could call Lyons a bit of a copycat. We saw earlier, he hit a ball right to center, similar to Sullivan. And you wonder if he's going to want to copy him again. First pitch taken outside. Lyons this time grounds to the first. He's not able to replicate the home run. 2 outs in the inning. E.J. Cumbo will step up here. 2 outs. First pitch outside, ball 1. Ball 2 there. We were mentioning Sullivan's at bat. Could have been one of the most important ones of the season for either team in a win-or-go-home game. And it ended very well for the Spartans and potentially heartbreaking for Valdosta State. They're now down 5. But they still have a bit of time to go. That one's going to be grounded. Shallow to Romano. He's picked it up. And safe. Tie goes to the runner, and Romano made a great play. It was a very tough to field and slow grounder. And that throw was almost in time, but Cumbo's able to beat it out to get his first hit of the ball game. 5 for 8 is the stat line for the bottom half of the Spartans' order. Nunez, 2 for 3. He grounded out last time, but singled 2 other times today. So here's the 0-0. That one's going to be taken low, ball 1. Cumbo with the lead. Stays there, ball 2. So Nunez in total, he's now up to 6 for 10. He's looking for hit number 7 here. But we've also seen him draw 3 walks, mainly from last game. There's strike 1. So not only has Nunez arguably been a bat that's as hot, with not necessarily balls leaving the yard, but keeping balls in play, as Sullivan, he's able to get on base quite a bit too. A real Billy Bean type of player, if you will. That one's going to go outside, 3-1. Nunez gets aboard, the inning can stay alive for Cadenas. Spartans this inning have been able to improve their average of the day to 414, a 1229 day, so a lot better odds and better times at the bat this time around. And ball 4. Nunez draws his first walk of the day. And that keeps the inning alive. Cadenas comes up with 2 out and 2 on. And again, we don't see too many people in the Spartans bullpen. Hard to imagine their closer going for yet another inning. He came on after the first out was recorded in the first inning. And could be seeing action in the 6th inning as part of what has really been a de facto first start of the season for him. 2 outs, 2 on. Cadenas, that one hit off the bat. Strike 1. It's been a good game so far, a lot of action, but we still have more to go. It's after this, roughly 30-45 minutes, however long it'll take. Nova Southeastern plays the winner. Strike 2 now taken. 1 for 3 with an RBI. Wanting to improve that number a little bit more. Cadenas grounds that to second. He can't beat the throw, so that'll end the inning. But not before the Spartans score 4 runs on 4 hits. They leave 2 on, but they lead 8-3 entering the bottom of the 6th inning. Due up for Valdosta State is Ard, Harper, and Crawford.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
So we are back at UT Baseball Stadium. Nelson still on the mound for the Spartans. He's had 56 pitches today and 4 strikeouts and 2 earned. One of those runs, of course, unearned. That came back in the 1st inning. Ard had a single and scored in his last at-bat. Interesting to see Nelson still out there, but maybe an easier decision to try to keep him in, as the Spartans were able to score 4 runs in the 6th inning, just back in the top half, and take the lead. A coin flip gave the Spartans the away side for this game. First pitch, that's going to be grounded, gets past Nelson, but not past Urso, who is playing in a little bit of a shift closer to the second base bag. And it worked out because that went right to him, and he got the first out of the inning. And with that, Nelson has completed 5 innings of work. But this is a man who knows how to hit off him. Harper up. He hit a 2-run shot back in the 4th inning. It got Tampa fans a bit nervous. 1 for 2 today. Chance with empty bases here. That one's high, ball 1. It is win or go home, so pressure Valdosta State at the plate. Entering the game, they're hitting .285 as an average for the team and .788 OPS. And they've been doing a good job to improve on that today. In total, .316 for 6 of 19 plate appearances. .2-0 count now for Harper. Wouldn't be surprised if Nelson is pitching around him. Count goes to 3-0. Urso seeing some movement. And wonder now if we are going to get some players getting set in the bullpen. Points over there, and it looks like they will. Here's the 3-0 to Harper. Strike 1. Top half of the zone, but in the zone. So Nelson over 60 pitches, and you rarely say that about a closer who won one of the Reliever of the Year awards for D2 SSCA. That's going to be lined up the middle. Urso picks it up, gets the throw in time. Sullivan nearly goes off the bag, but he held on to it. That's the second out of the inning. Great play there by Urso. That looked like that ball was going to head to the outfield. Urso said, I don't think so. He made a good play, made it, and for Harper, just a couple steps behind. Would have been on if Sullivan didn't make as good of a play as he did to keep a hold on to the ball. Now we're going to see Crawford up here. He got on base via walk last time. Fouled away off his bat. Crawford in total, 4 for 6 with an RBI and 4 walks throughout the tournament. So he's been able to get on base quite a few times. Walk, hit, and even brought one home. The only chance he'd have to bring one home is if he's able to take it yard. That could be easier said than done, even though Nelson may be running on empty. See 2 warming up pitchers in the Spartan bullpen. Count's going to go to 1-1. After that out, both averages even out to clean digits. 0.4 and 0.3. That's the Spartans, and 0.3 is for Valdosta State. That one's going to be popped up, but it will go out of play. 1-2. 1-2 now with 2 away. A chance to get out of the inning quickly and complete 5 2/3 of work. He will! That's a swing and a miss. Strikeout number 5. And Nelson, hats off to you. What a performance he's had coming out of the bullpen to have a de facto start. Spartans will still lead 8-3 entering the top of the 7th.
This is the University of Tampa. UT students travel from across the nation and around the globe to join a dynamic learning community. There are 150 academic programs, continuing studies for non-traditional students, and a highly ranked graduate school. Recreational opportunities are endless, both off-campus and on-campus. Students live in upscale residence halls and enjoy diverse activities, including performing arts, guest lectures, nearly 200 clubs and organizations, and a nationally ranked NCAA Division II athletics program. The UT experience begins with an innovative first-year program and continues with opportunities to challenge yourself in the honors program.
Top of the 7th we go. Tampa now up 8-3. Jack Ike behind the mic. Spartans with a 4-run 6th. Rulai with a ground ball. 1 up, 1 down. Rulai batted in that 4-run 6th inning, highlighted by a Dan Sullivan 3-run home run. Top of the order for the Spartans, J.D. Urso. Spartans are 8 runs, 12 hits. No errors. Valdosta State, the Blazers, 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. Finn with the pitch. little bit low to Urso. Looking for that first hit of the day. Fly ball. Left field coming in. Making the catch. Ard for out number 2. Quick 2 up, 2 down, and Jordan Lala will come to the plate. Lala technically 0 for 3 today, walked and scored last time. Came in on the Sullivan homer. Fouls off. For Lala to get a walk is very much in line with the way he does things. Leads the team in walks by a considerable amount. He's walked 38 times this year, 39 now with this one. Next is Drew Earhart with 27. Nobody else. Nunez in 21. There's a ground ball. Quick inning here for Valdosta State in the 7th. We go to the bottom of the 7th. 3 up, 3 down for the Spartans. 8-3, Tampa on top, right here on TampaSpartans.tv.
College sports.
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
A return to normal, and all we love about sports.
You've instilled resilience, focus, and selflessness in us. We've put those lessons to work.
We've found strength and unity in each other.
You continue to take us places we never imagined.
You bring out the best in us.
So when we look forward, we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We see a better world for all of us and for college sports.
Champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
Bottom of the 7th we go. 8-3 Tampa. Valdosta State coming to the plate. Braden Nelson back on the mound. 5 2/3 innings pitched. 5 hits. 2 runs. They've both been earned. He's walked 1, struck out 5. 22 batters faced. Just 66 pitches.
And you say just 66 pitches, but again, he has had a massive start, a long start, a great start too, though, as the team's main closer. Interesting to see him going the distance here and coming back in for another.
Well, I'm sure there's a continuing conversation, though we've not seen anybody actually warm up for Tampa. We've had people down in the bullpen. No one's actually gotten up and thrown any. So they're riding Braden as far as they can. Ball out a little bit high. 2-0. Batter is Christopoulos, the third baseman.
Of course, you'd expect this to be Braden's only start unless he was ready for a relief stint in the, if necessary, game.
Yeah, this more than likely is the last you will see of him this weekend, no matter how far it goes.
But he's come on for one of the most important games of the Spartan season, and he has kept them quiet with the exception of the singular home run back in the 4th inning.
Inside, 3-0.
You now see some more players.
Yeah, people hustle down there.
Christopoulos, he's 0 for 2 today.
Down the middle for the strike, 3-1.
for that fourth pitch. He's now over 70 on the day. And remember when you talked to his father and he said, oh, we can go four innings?
Yeah.
Well, he's gone a little bit further than that. He could wrap up a 6th inning of work right here.
Fouled off. They're giving chase near the dugout. It lands behind the dugout. Number 14 for Tampa is Cameron Serrata warming up. Left-handed pitcher. Been in 11 games so far this year. So it'll be a 3-2 pitch to Christopoulos. On deck, the 9-hitter Gutierrez, and back to the top of the order with Gandy. And he walked him. So a leadoff walk puts a Blazer on first.
Urso's not making the change yet.
Looks like we may have a pinch hitter coming up, though, for Valdosta State.
Looks like we actually do. Number 26 is going to step in. And that is
J.J. Correda. J.J. Correda is from Curacao.
So the lefty here, he's come up with a chance with a runner on first to try to help his team, but it looks like that could be the day for
Nelson.
He's
making the move. Leadoff walk, and he's like, okay, let's not mess around with this too much. We got an 8-3 lead. Bring in a fresh arm. So after 72 pitches, Braden Nelson's getting quite a ovation from the fans here. The Sunshine State Conference Relief Pitcher of the Year in a de facto start as he came in after just a third of an inning. But Cameron Serrata coming in for Tampa.
Tampa can hold on to the win. He would be able to get another win this season, and even though he has been a closer, he's gotten a couple of those decisions to go his way.
This will be the 12th appearance for Serrata. 2-1 on the year with a save, 21 innings pitched, 16 hits, 9 runs, 7 earned, walked 11, struck out 17, a 3.0 ERA. Getting instructions from Joe Urso, not just for Cameron, but for the infielders as well. Final words, Joe heads back to the dugout. Serrata is a junior from Weeki Wachee, Florida.
Not a surprise to see Serrata as a lefty come in, because the current pinch hitter for Valdosta State was also lining up as a lefty. So definitely wanting to take advantage of the platoon situation right there.
So Cotita to the plate once we get the chance. Tampa up 8-3. Dan Sullivan with a huge home run last inning. Spartans put up a 4 spot. He with a 3-run shot.
And that home run from Dan Sullivan, arguably the most important of his for the season. It's given the Spartans a lengthier lead. Even though they still were already leading, a 5-run lead is a lot easier to protect than the 2-run lead as it was from the previous play, Earhart's RBI single.
While Serrata comes in relief, the Spartans do get somebody else warming up just in case. I think it might be Drew Martin again. I saw him walking down there. He's appeared in finished off the first 2 games of the series of the weekend.
Would be interesting to see Martin making a 3rd appearance.
Yeah, that would be. But it was
games.
him walking down there.
Unmistakable. I mean, he is the tallest Spartan. you see someone tall, then it's most likely Martin, and indeed he is over there.
Cotita coming to the plate.
So now I wonder if you got a platoon disadvantage, you think Cotita might just try to drop a sacrifice bunt down?
Well, you need 5, so maybe you need more base runners than just moving one runner. 5-3 maybe, just my opinion. Cotita on the year, 242. Does have some pop, 4 home runs. Started about half the games they've played this year. Strike one pitch coming up. Ground ball. Nunez, they may turn 2. He's got to wait for Earhart to get there. Gets 1. The relay. He beat it out. That got to Nunez so fast, and Earhart was kind of, because it was a lefty, he was really shaded a lot more toward first than normal, and it just took a while for Drew to get there, and Nunez had to double clutch a couple times. Did get the lead runner, so that's the important one. Got the out.
It's always important to get the out, but it was just too fast for his own good there because Earhart, again, playing shift, as you just said, not able to get to the base in time to help turn 2. Cotita beat it by a step.
Leadoff hitter Gandy with a big swing and a miss.
You also see 2 bullpen arms warming up for Valdosta State. They'll be getting ready as well, potentially to relieve their current reliever next inning.
Check swing in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. No, they're calling it a strike.
Nope, it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
All right.
Is that fouled?
I trusted the board.
Nope.
The foul ball? They called it a swing? Okay. 0-2. Gandy calls time. Steps back in. Serrata not messing around. And Gandy calls time again.
I wonder if they might want to try to send... Well, they wouldn't want to send Cotita here. There is an out already, and you don't want to risk a second out.
Check swing, and Gandy is down. Nice job by Serrata. We'll bring up Romano to the plate.
Serrata is able to get his first strikeout of the game. Coming in from relief.
Bottom of the 7th, Tampa 8, Valdosta State 3, the pitch. Ground ball, Earhart's got a range, has it. Inning over. Spartans get out of it, no damage. We'll head to the 8th, 8-3, Tampa on top of Valdosta State on TampaSpartans.tv.
In the late 1920s, the prospect of a Hillsborough High student enrolling in college was bleak. The nation was in the throes of the Great Depression. Businesses were failing, and many of Tampa's beautiful waterfront homes were left abandoned. The principal at Hillsborough High, Frederick Spalding, didn't see these barriers. He only saw bright young students who were in need of a place to continue their learning. In 1931, collegiate-level courses were offered at Hillsborough High. This would later become the University of Tampa. On August 2, 1933, Spalding arrived at the doors of Plant Hall with a 100-year lease from the city and a firm resolve, and with the turn of a key, opened the door to the University of Tampa. In its fledgling years, UT was fortunate if it could collect half of the tuition due from its students. It was only through the dedication of its professors, who worked without pay, that the university survived the Great Depression. Over the next several decades, UT grew slightly, enrolling up to 1,800 at times, starting several sports teams, and even began accepting students from other areas of the country. But in the early 90s, the growth seemed to stand still, even stop. UT needed new life, some passion. UT needed strong leadership.
In 1995, Dr. Vaughn became president and UT began to transform. 1,000 UT students has become 7,200, and we are now entering our 17th consecutive year of record enrollment. All the while, UT's academic profile continues to increase. There has been $350 million in new construction since 2000. We have added 7 new residence halls, academic buildings and labs, as well as athletic facilities. Plant Hall even got new carpet and new windows. UT now has more than 3,000 events annually and 200 clubs and student organizations. We have won 13 NCAA Division II championships, and since 2000, Spartan teams have won 35 Sunshine State Conference titles. As a member of the University of Tampa Spartan family,
8th inning, Drew Earhart will leave off for Tampa. J.J. Finn on the mound for Valdosta. Coming in at second base is Ryan Villeman to play second base. He is a senior from Seminole, Florida. Went to, actually somewhat local, went to St. Petersburg Community College. A couple of players from St. Petersburg Community College on the roster. First pitch is a strike to Drew.
Sinker had a little bit of a break on it. Curved back into the zone.
Outside. Drew rips it down the line. It's going to be foul into the Spartan bullpen. One ball, 2 strikes to Drew Earhart. Couple base hits his last 2 times up. Grounder out to Romano, takes it on a huge hop, tosses it over in time for the out. Dasco had to do his almost a splits to make that catch. Brings up Sullivan, huge home run his last time up. And out to the mound is Greg Willems. And he's going to make a pitching change.
So Finn was able to eat 3 innings of work, 4 earned runs, 1 strikeout and 2 walks in that period. And for now, they're going to pull out another player from the bullpen with 1 out in the inning.
We're going to take a break while he warms up, and we'll get you the numbers on who's coming in right after this on TampaSpartans.tv.
Welcome to the University of Tampa. My name is Tucker Whitman, and I'm a junior marketing major here at UT. Today we're going to look at some of the highlights of our beautiful Riverside campus here in downtown Tampa. We'll start at Plant Hall. This historic building was opened in 1891 as the Tampa Bay Hotel, and now serves as the main academic building here at UT, with 4 floors of classrooms, as well as faculty and administrative offices. Next up, the Vaughn Center, the hub of campus life and activities. This multi-purpose building includes the campus bookstore, our primary cafeteria plus an additional food court, a theater, as well as offices and meeting rooms for student organizations. The Vaughn Center is also one of UT's residence halls, providing 5 floors of student rooms. Morsani Hall is another residence hall here at UT. In addition to housing approximately 450 students, this building offers another selection of eateries as well as a small grocery store. Now let's check out the Sykes College of Business. This academic building houses classrooms and faculty offices for UT's undergrad and graduate business students. This building also has a real-time stock trading room. Right next door is the Sykes Chapel for Faith and Values. This gorgeous interfaith chapel features a large main hall complete with a massive pipe organ, as well as meditation rooms and meeting rooms. Student health care is a major priority for us here at UT. The Dickey Health and Wellness Center is accessible to all students and provides high-quality services including basic medical care, counseling, and wellness programs. On the east side of campus, you'll find the McDonald-Kelsey Library. Here, students can learn from a large collection of books, periodicals, and digital databases. They can also take advantage of our numerous study rooms and computers. The Academic Success Center is another great resource for students. This is your one-stop shop for academic advising, coaching, and tutoring services. Whether you're a seasoned athlete or just want to shoot some hoops, the athletic facilities here at UT are hard to beat. The Bob Martinez Athletic Center includes a large gymnasium.
Raymond Fields coming into pitch for Valdosta State. He is a sophomore from Orlando, Florida, but the other person on the roster from St. Petersburg Community College for the season. Let's get the numbers on Fields. He has a 9.53 ERA, 2-0 on the season, 8 appearances, 1 start. Only 5 and 2/3 innings pitched at this point. And his reward to coming in is to face Dan Sullivan. And he turns on one and fouls it off.
Pretty sure Sullivan was the reason he was brought in. Fields, of course, a lefty. They want that lefty-lefty split, but so far that hasn't stopped Sullivan from getting on. He had a single earlier, although he did have a line out and fly out in the previous at-bats where he did face the lefty from earlier.
Basically, Dan Sullivan has made good contact every time up today. Of the 4, a base hit and a 3-run homer.
Could argue he should have been 3 for 4 if it wasn't for the good positioning at second base by the player who's recently been replaced.
Nice scoop by Harper. One out, top of the 8th. Tampa with an 8-3 lead. The pitch. Ground ball toward first. Fielded by Dasco, and he trots over to the base, makes the out. By the way, I got to give a chance here. Dan Sullivan's grandpa watching up in Palatine, Illinois. I'm sure he's happy with what he's seeing to this point.
On which day? I think he's probably happy with every day that Sullivan's been at the plate. Sullivan goes to 2 for 5 today, but did hit one of the most important home runs of the season for the Spartans. So overall, very successful day.
Jamarcus Lyons to the plate now. First pitch. Call strike. Oh, 1, a little bit low.
Two for 3, but also already drew a walk. Let's see if Lyons can get ahead here.
One. Way outside. 2-1. Playing him straight away for the most part and fairly deep. Infield way back. Almost everybody close to the grass. Inside, 3-1. Coming from Fields. Walked him. Base runner with 2 outs. And E.J. Cumbo strides to the plate.
Cumbo was recently able to break a hitting slump, but now has to face another lefty pitcher with 2 outs.
Fields to Cumbo, lefty to lefty. The pitch. Gatwin gets through Harper, and down to second goes Lyons. So that one slipped through Harper. Wild pitch. Runner in scoring position now for Cumbo. See if the Spartans can add one more run to the total. Fields fires. And he does. There's a base hit. They're going to send Lyons. And he will cross the plate standing up, and the Spartans lead 9-3 on a 2-out base hit. RBI single by E.J. Cumbo.
Cumbo's bat had gone cold for the start of the playoffs, but comes up here with a big RBI. Helps expand the Spartans' lead a little bit more
And that may be it for Raymond Fields as Greg Gwillems is out and takes the ball. And we're going to have another new pitcher.
I think that kind of confirmed our suspicions that Fields was mainly the platoon guy, looking to try to retire both Spartans lefties. He got Sullivan out. He didn't get Cumbo out.
See if we can get you the pitcher. 39, that's Jake Janetta. 6.48 ERA, no decisions. This is his 10th appearance of the year. 8 1/3 innings pitched, 14 hits, 8 runs, 6 earned, walked 3, struck out 3. And he is from a junior from Windermere, Florida. Went to Lake Sumter Community College before this. We'll take a break while he warms up and be back with Anthony Nunez coming to the plate on TampaSpartans.tv. Coming in to pitch for Valdosta State is number 39, Jake Janetta. First batter he will face will be Anthony Nunez as the Spartans pushed a run across here to take a 9-3 lead. Now have one man on. That's E.J. Cumbo at first. Nunez on the left side of the plate for this at-bat. As a 2-for-3 day going. And the first pitch from Janetta is outside for a ball. Jose Cadenas on deck.
That bottom half of the order for the Spartans is 7, 8, 9 hitters. Mentioned it earlier, but for now, they're hitting 500. 5 for 10 in official at-bats.
Ball in the dirt. Valdosta will send up Doskow, Adams, Ard in their half of the 8th. Ball high. 3-0 to Nunez. And here's the 3-0. Just inside, almost hit him. Gets the free pass. So the first batter faced by Janetta is a 4-pitch walk. Brings Cadenas to the plate. Runners now first and second with 2 out. First pitch. Well, in the dirt. So Janetta has come in and thrown 5 pitches, all balls. In the stretch. There he gets a strike. 1-1. There is a lefty down in the Valdosta State bullpen. 1-1 coming from Janetta. Tries to bend one off, but it was kind of high coming out of his arm. It never got any lower than that. Two balls, one strike. Cadenas waits. Here's the pitch. Popped up, out of play.
One for 4 and an RBI, and he's got a chance to get a second here. Cumbo on second. If he really hit it far into the outfield, he could get Nunez all the way home, but Nunez would need to put on the Jets. They need to copy Red Bull and get a Honda engine on his legs to make it all the way around the bases in time.
And the pitch. Swing and a miss, off-speed pitch. And Cadenas goes down to end the inning. Spartans do pick up a run, make it 9-3. We head to the ninth. Let's make it at the bottom of the eighth. Tampa on top 9-3 on TampaSpartans.tv.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
Bottom of the eighth we go. It will be Dosco, Adams, and Ard for Valdosta State. They need a bunch of runs to get back into this thing, trailing 9-3. Down to their final 6 outs of the game. Valdosta State did take the lead in the first inning, but somehow the Spartans limited them to 1 run after kind of a really shaky start from Nick Long for the Spartans. But I think something happened with Nick early, and he was replaced after a third of an inning by Braden Nelson. Spartans then answered with 3 in the second and have been on top ever since. First pitch to Dosco is a strike. Serrata, the lefty. Swing and a miss.
Serrata forcing a lot of whiffs from Valdosta State. In 1 inning, he needed just 6 pitches and got a strikeout to get out of that jam. And already has Dosco 0-2.
The pitch, swing and a miss on the outside corner. And Dosco is down. 1 out here in the 8th. That will bring Adams to the plate. 0-2 today.
And Adams so far, he's had a pretty good tournament, even though he's slow today. 3 for 10 with an RBI. And throughout the season, he's done pretty well for Valdosta State. They're going to be relying on him facing the lefty to try to get something going.
First pitch, call strike. Serrata just keeps pounding the strike zone early.
He's doing the job that Urso wants. Get pitches in the zone, and if they hit it in play, they hit it in play. So far, that hasn't been a problem for him, as Valdosta State haven't gotten a hit just yet.
Fly ball, that's going to be out to Cadenas in center. Drifts over to his right, makes the catch. 2 outs quickly here in the 8th. Ard will come to the plate now.
Singleton scored back in the 4th. one of the better hitters for Valdosta State, looking to keep their offensive alive to finally crack the Serrata enigma here. He's retired his first 5 batters without difficulty, really. That's going to be the first ball of the inning.
Serrata in the stretch. Rips one out to right field. Cumbo drifts over, makes the catch, and a quick inning for Tampa and Serrata. We will head to the 9th, folks. 9-3, Tampa on top, right here on TampaSpartans.tv.
This is the University of Tampa. UT students travel from across the nation and around the globe to join a dynamic learning community. There are 150 academic programs, continuing studies for non-traditional students, and a highly ranked graduate school. And internships, and the recreational opportunities are endless, both off-campus and on campus. Students live in upscale residence halls and enjoy diverse activities, including performing arts, guest lectures, nearly 200 clubs and organizations, and a nationally ranked NCAA Division II athletics program. The UT experience begins with an innovative first-year program and continues with opportunities to challenge yourself in the honors program, to study abroad, to conduct research with faculty, to do an internship, to volunteer in the community, or to participate in multiple leadership programs. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
Pitching change for Valdosta State here in the 9th as they bring in Adrian Garastazu. He is a grad student from Hialeah, Florida, a transfer from Jacksonville University.
Apart from the pitching change, the battery's also been recharged. Ralph Morla Jr. has come in as the new catcher alongside.
First batter will be Josh Rulai. Big home run earlier in this ball game. And the first pitch. Call strike. Garastazu has a 5.1 ERA, 3-2 on the year. 17th appearance today, 4 starts so far this year. Fouled back by Rulai. 30 innings pitched, 34 hits, 18 runs, 17 earned, walked 14, struck out 27. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rulai with a solo home run, leading off the 4th inning on the first pitch, his first home run of the season. But that home run put the Spartans up 4-1, which was big because Valdosta came back in the bottom of the 4th with a 2-run shot to make it 4-3. Two pitch, swing and a miss. Rulai goes down. will go to the top of the order in J.D. Urso.
Drops to 2 for 4, but still a great day for Rulai, and better late than never to get your first home run of the season. It's a clutch one, help the Spartans get the lead, and one of the reasons that they're with a 6-run lead in the top of the 9th.
Urso digs in, Garastazu looks in, and the lefty fires way outside. Missing on that one as well, 2-0.
Urso still looking to get on base for a second time today. He got on base via error earlier, but the other 4 at-bats, he was retired.
Ground ball, does it get through? Backhanded, jumps, throws, he beat it out. Just too deep in the hole, and Urso's able to beat it out, an infield single.
Too deep, but a good play nonetheless. He was able to get it, pick it up before it got to the outfield, and tried to hurl it to first.
Jordan Lala now to the plate. And the pitch. Strike call, top of the 9th. Tampa leads 9-3. Valdosta State will have Morla Crawford Christopoulos in the 9th. Strike call.
Two strikeouts already for Lala, and finds himself 0-2 in the hole here.
Oh-2 pitch coming up. Lala grounds it out towards second. Morla throws him out. 2 down.
They avoid the double play, so it's productive out as it gets Urso to second. Lala drops to 0 for 5 today with a walk.
It was actually Ryan Villeman making the play at second. Brings up Drew Earhart to the plate. 2 down, man on second now for Tampa. See if they can push one more across, hit double digits. First pitch to Drew is fouled back. Not sure where that ball landed in the bleachers, but all sorts of people looking to the right, pointing.
Someone may have just gotten a souvenir.
Ball high. Earhart, bat on shoulder. Off the shoulder when the pitch comes. A little bit outside. 2 balls, 1 strike.
So that foul ball actually hit a girl's umbrella. So that's a little bit funny. Might have a damaged umbrella, but you do get a nice little souvenir from a D2 regional game.
Throw to second. Good pickoff try. I'm very close. Let Urso back. Two one on the way. That one is high. 3-1.
Good take from Earhart. Now is very well ahead in the count.
And the 3-1. Watches it, calls strike. 3-2. Full count to Drew Earhart. Garastazu with the pitch. Off speed, walked him. High out of the zone, and Dan Sullivan will come to the plate again.
Last time Dan was up, he grounded out, but earlier in the game, he had one of the biggest hits of the season for the Spartans. It's the reason their lead is this large, as they now have 3 outs to go before they could punch a ticket for the regional championship against Nova Southeastern, try to get revenge for yesterday's loss. Sullivan could try to help Tampa's cause even more. A runner in scoring position, and now, of course, Earhart on first.
And the first pitch popped up high. It's going to stay in the yard. Crawford drifts. Center fielder makes the catch to end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. Valdosta State down to its final 3, trailing 9-3 on TampaSpartans.tv.
College sports.
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
A return to normal, and all we love about sports.
You've instilled resilience, focus, and selflessness in us. We've put those lessons to work.
We've found strength and unity in each other.
You continue to take us places we never imagined.
You bring out the best in us.
So when we look forward, we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We see a better world for all of us and for college sports.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
Last chance for Valdosta State. Coming to the plate is going to be Morla. Came in as a defensive replacement at catcher. So this will be his first at-bat. Cameron Serrata, an impressive 2 innings. Struck out 2, faced 6 batters, thrown only 13 pitches.
Keeping it very efficient and potentially giving himself enough stamina to be ready if they need him for the second game today, if Spartans can get to it, or for a game on Sunday, should that happen if it's necessary. But of course, he still 3 outs to go here.
Ball out into center field. Cadenas moves, makes a diving catch for the first out. Stretched out, put it in the leather, 1 down.
Let the fielders make the plays, and that's one of those plays right there. Gets a huge first out for the Spartans, and a great play by Cadenas to lay it all out. 2 to go for Valdosta State, hoping to keep their season alive.
So Crawford to the plate, the number 7 hitter in the order. First pitch is strike. Swing and a miss. Ahead 0-2 to Crawford. Swing and a miss. 2 down here in the ninth.
Every strikeout Sereda's gotten has come in 3 straight pitches, and that one 3 straight whiffs. A lot of stuff being displayed here by the lefty reliever for the Spartans. And Sereda.
Going on in the other regional, by the way, Rollins has a 10-1 lead over Lee. That game was supposed to be played yesterday. A lot of rain going on. St. Leo did beat Delta State in a completion of a game that started yesterday. So what that would mean is Lee, if it stays that way, 10-1, or if Rollins holds on to win, will play St. Leo after that. They've got to try to catch up. Ruai taking one off the foot, and umpires usually go out, kill some time with the pitcher, discussing the Tampa downtown scene.
I have a feeling Ruai could be telling Christopoulos, hey, you should check out Ducky's after the game. They've got some great food.
Yeah.
It's only 2:06 p.m. here, but Valdosta State might stay in town. Not sure if they had checked out of their hotel yet. They've had a really strong season regardless of the result here. They had a losing streak entering the tournament, but were able to
break ball. Nunez takes a good hop to throw. Tampa moves on to play another game today. Tampa wins at 9-3. Valdosta State's season comes to an end at 31 wins and 16 losses. Tampa now 42-11 and will play Nova Southeastern in about an hour, maybe an hour and a half from now, in another elimination game for the Spartans, not an elimination game for Nova Southeastern. Nova Southeastern, the Sharks, have won the first 2 games of the tournament, have not lost any games yet. Tampa, of course, losing to Nova yesterday. So it's an elimination game for the Spartans. The Spartans hoping to win that one and play for the championship on Sunday. Box score, Tampa 9 runs, 14 hits, no errors. Valdosta State 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. Braden Nelson, I'd give the player of the game to. What a job coming in. Basically as a starter, he came in after a third of an inning when Nick Long looked to be struggling and pitched 6 innings, 5 2/3 innings. Nice job in relief by Cameron Sereda for Tampa to get the win. So we've got a game coming up in probably an hour, maybe a little bit more. They'll get the field ready and let the teams get ready. Tampa's got to probably change unis and get started. So for Taylor Stolworthy, this is Jack Ike saying thanks for joining us. Join us in about an hour right here on TampaSpartans.tv.